Every financial decision you make is training your brain, whether you realize it or not. When you spend money to escape stress, you're just teaching your brain that stress equals spending. When you avoid checking your bank accounts, you're training your brain to know that, hey, avoidance equals safety. And when you delay decisions because they feel uncomfortable or a challenge to you, your brain notices that and it learns to repeat that pattern. And over time, these decisions that you're making, they don't even feel intentional. They don't feel like choices. They just feel like you're on autopilot. That's why most financial mistakes aren't about money. They're actually just about how you're conditioning your brain. In this video, I want to show you how your brain is being conditioned or trained by these financial habits that you keep on implementing, and how to interrupt that process before it costs you more than just money in the long run. Because at the end of the day, guys, the goal is not perfection. It's to just stop reiterating or reinforcing the patterns that you have created over and over again. The conditioning loop. Here's something most people never think about. Your brain doesn't care about long-term goals. It cares about short-term relief, especially when you're feeling emotional or stressed out. So when you feel stressed, bored, overwhelmed, or even feel pressure, your brain looks for the fastest escape, for the fastest way to feel better or find that relief. And that's where a lot of financial decisions come from. You feel something that makes you uncomfortable or overwhelms you, and then you make a decision and you finally get that relief for a short amount of time. And then your brain starts to condition itself and really connect the dots. So stress is going to be linked to spending now, since you are instilling that pattern inside your brain. Avoidance is going to feel like very comforting because you have been repeating this over and over again. And urgency or feeling pressured is going to lead to quick decisions that you may not be thinking very long term about them, or you may not be thinking about them at all because it's just automatic. And the more times that that loop repeats, guys, the stronger it becomes and the harder it is to break that pattern. That's how habits form, and that's how autopilot completely takes over your life. The real problem. Most people think their problem is just being more disciplined. They need to be more disciplined and they need to be this alpha male or alpha woman. They say things like, oh, I just need to be more consistent, or I just need more motivation. But motivation disappears the moment any form of stress shows up in your life. The real problem isn't a lack of discipline, it's unprotected decision making. If you don't protect and live by the decisions you want to make, then your brain will protect the comfort and the avoidance styles that you are implementing in your life. And comfort always feels good in the moment, guys, but in the future, it works against you. That's why awareness isn't enough. You can know what you should be doing and what you need to be doing, but you will do the opposite once those emotions take over you and allow those emotions to control your decision making. And that's where rules come in, my friends. I don't rely on willpower to make decisions about money. I rely on a small set of rules that protect me even when I'm tired, stressed, overwhelmed, or I just feel pressure on my life. Because we all feel some sort of pressure. We all have this idea. We all have goals in our life that add pressure to us as human beings. And these aren't investing tips, but instead they're like decision rules, filtering out those decisions to make sure that you're making the best one for you and your future self. And I built a simple system that I personally use to slow my decisions down and really understand my intention behind the decision and why I actually want to pursue this. And this system has saved me far more than any perfect strategy, any budgeting template that I have ever seen or that ever could try and top this. So rule number one, guys, delay is a strategy. The first rule is simple, guys. If a financial decision feels urgent, it probably isn't that important. Urgency is one of the fastest ways that your brain tricks you into bad decisions and spending that money. Regurgitate a decision or an ideal that I want. That pause breaks the conditioning that we have set on ourselves from years ago. And most of the time, if you give it not even 10 minutes, that decision that you want to make is slowly going to fade. It's the same thing with lust. You know what I mean? You give it 5-10 minutes, you walk around, and eventually you realize that, hey, I actually didn't need this in the moment. I didn't even need it. It was just something that popped up out of urgency, and my brain felt like it needed it. Rule number 2, guys, never invest to feel something. This one is big. If you're investing to feel smart, excited, validated, or even if you feel like you want to be early, you're not investing, you're just gambling. Healthy financial decisions, they usually feel boring, guys. They're calm, they're measured, and especially they're unemotional. You do this without emotion because you just know what needs to get done. The moment emotion enters in the decision, your brain is being trained to not to close, but to chase that feeling instead of chasing alignment and structure. That's a really dangerous habit to build, especially with all these gambling apps going around, like RainBet and all of these crypto meme coins. Investing in something just to feel validated it's really going to put you in a hole. Or not, you might get 3,000% and you might be a billionaire in a day, but I'll not take those odds. Rule number 3 that I want you guys to really listen to is protect the downside first. Before you ask yourself, how much can I make? Ask yourself, how much will this cost me? What is this going to cost me in the long term and even in the short term? Financial discipline is about maximizing the upside, but most importantly, it's about minimizing the regret that you'll have. That question alone has helped me stop making decisions that I would have had to clean up later in my life. This applies to investing, spending, and even your lifestyle choices. Protecting the downside gives you a chance to breathe. Rule number 4, guys, small decisions matter more than the big decisions. Most people think that their financial future is going to be decided by this one big decision that they have to make, and it's going to be so overwhelming, and you just pass by all of the small decisions that you should have been making. Your financial future is built through repetition, guys. If you constantly make small impulse purchases, you avoid check-ins with your bank account or anything of the sort, or you put decisions off, those patterns are going to compound just like money does. And every time you repeat those bad habits, guys, your brain is going to tell itself, and it's going to learn that this is who I am. These are the habits that I have in my life. And this is what I'm going to repeat. And this is going to connect back to our brain, guys. Rules don't restrict you. They retrain your brain. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you're breaking that old habit and that old pattern. Every time you choose something with intention, you strengthen a new one. And over time, discipline stops feeling forced. Not only because you found something that you like to do, but because it just becomes familiar to your brain. So your brain has reconditioned itself for a new set of rules, for a new change, for new habits. You don't change your financial life by just thinking harder, guys. You change it by choosing differently, and you consistently choose differently. You consistently choose differently. Day by day, you consistently choose differently. Guys, just to end it off, every financial decision that you make is teaching your brain what to repeat. The question isn't whether you're being trained, but the question is rather, are you training yourself intentionally? Or are you letting comfort and avoidance do the training for you? I actually built a simple decision system for you guys personally to make sure that you are pausing when you want to make a big financial decision or even change a habit that you have in your life. It's linked below if you want something that you can come back to every time you feel overwhelmed or stressed out, because guys, it is not a race. Progress takes time, and you can really look back and take all the information and without feeling like you're on a time clock or not feeling like you're expected to succeed in a certain amount of time. So guys, if this changed the way you think, stick around. This channel is about clarity, discipline, and building a future that you don't have to escape from. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye.